All right, here we go. UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Kavanagh. And the UFC has clearly cashed in on all the Paramount Plus subscribers for the year because these last few cards have meant absolutely nothing. They have been filled with a bunch of filler fighters who don't really mean anything, who don't really add anything in terms of ranking position or title scenarios. It's just kind of whoever wants to fight. They have so many goddamn fighters on the roster now. I feel like they could put together a card every second night if they wanted to. It's kind of a joke. Some of the competition in the UFC is just declining with the amount of people they're continuously signing. And I feel like it's just a takeaway from other promotions, but nonetheless, we are here for our picks. Last week was tough. Last week was a tough fight night to predict. It was in Houston, and I went 8 for 6 or 8 for 14, 8 and 6. So, I mean, there's worse. There's definitely people who did worse, but nonetheless, let's get into this. We got short notice newcomer, not newcomer, but new. He's not even in the rankings anymore. They took him out of the rankings this week. Good timing, right? Good timing. But he was ranked number 15 coming into this fight before they updated the rankings this week. Loner Kavanagh taking on Brandon Moreno on a relatively short notice fight. Probably not enough time to put together a full training camp, which could prove some difficulty for him with this fight being in Mexico City at elevation. We know Loner Kavanagh doesn't have the cardio that a Brandon Moreno has, or it has proven to have throughout his career. But I guess we'll see what we predict coming up here. First things first, though, let's start with the prelim opener of Damian Pinatas versus Wes Schultz. I mean, how do you not pick Damian Pinnis here? This guy has, I think he's only ever seen the second round twice, and every other one of his fights has been a first round knockout. Those two fights that he went to second round were knockouts, and his one loss was a DQ by an illegal strike. So this guy's a killer. Wes Schultz, he's going to get caught. I mean, he has the ability to maybe take this guy down, mix in the grappling a bit, but nonetheless, I think Pinas is going to find the shot in the first round. He's just more athletic. He's just got that power. And I don't think Wes Schultz is going to be able to walk through those shots. I think he's going to get caught as he's coming in, and he's going to go out. First round KO or TKO for Damian Pinas here. That's what we're going with. And then we got Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Eric Silva is another one of those guys where he's kind of washed. He's honestly kind of like Wes Schultz in a way. Francis Marshall arguably robbed in that Marion Santos fight, who Marion Santos is considered a pretty good prospect in the featherweight division, and he's the winner of TUF. And people were high on him going into that fight, and Francis Marshall just kind of got the better of him on the feet too. On the feet. He has this left hook that reminds me a lot of Malcolm Wellmaker, the way he throws it super quick in there. Like he was throwing it a lot in that fight and knocked down Marion Santos a few times with it in that fight, similar to how Malcolm Wellmaker finished Chris Motino, who's also on this card. And I think Eric Silva is going to walk right into that as well. I expect Francis Marshall to find that whipping left hook in the second round and KO Eric Silva. There's a chance this goes to decision, but I still think Francis Marshall is just the better fighter. Eric Silva is actually quite old. I think he's like 37 or 38, so he's on the tail end of his career despite only being 9-3. He had some injury troubles, and I don't think he's won a fight in the UFC. I don't even think he's won a fight in the UFC. And if he has, I don't think he has. So anyway, yeah, Francis Marshall is going to be able to find that left hook and put this guy out in round 2, I reckon. Next up, we got a short notice replacement for, it was supposed to be Montenegro, I believe. Sofia Montenegro, I think was her name. That would have been a pretty entertaining fight. I think this is a good short notice replacement though for her. Relatively similar styles. I don't think it's not going to be at one. Maybe it is going to be at one. I don't know. It's a catch weight. I don't know what this was planned to be at. I completely forget. But I think Regina Taryn actually is going to win this fight. I mean, Cara Kate's pretty good, but she's a little reckless with her striking. She's kind of like just walk forward and like pop 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 type of fighter, where I think she's gonna run herself into some trouble against Regina in that aspect because I think Regina is going to be able to lock her up in the clinch and use her grappling to control Ernesta on the ground, take her down, and potentially submit her. But I don't really see that happening. I see more of like some ground and pound threatening submissions. Um, there's not too much to worry about for Regina in terms of like a full camp and the elevation concerns because she's from Mexico City, so she's training out of Mexico City. That's not a huge concern for her. So she was training for a Muay Thai fight, I believe, which was either this weekend or next weekend, I think. So it's not like she's been completely off the couch. It's not like she's off the couch taking on Caracade. It's more that she's transitioning to an MMA fight instead of a Muay Thai fight. But she is experienced in MMA. She knows how to use her grappling. She throws her strikes with meaning. She has a really good 1-2. She has the kicks. I honestly think this fight might be a bit of a banger, to be honest. So I'm still going to pick Regina Taryn. I don't think either of these ladies necessarily have the power to get a finish. I could see Regina maybe getting a sub. Cara Kate's not a grappler, so she's either going to get finished via grappling or she's going to get UD'd because of the grappling submission threat from Regina Taryn. Maybe Taryn finds a head kick, but I doubt it. I'm talking way too long about this fight. We got to move on. I'm taking Regina Taryn by 29-28 decision. Next up, we got Douglas Silva de Andrade, the old classy vet, versus Javier Reyes, who I believe is making his UFC debut, although he is not the youngest fighter in his own right. I think he's 32 or 33 years old. A lot of people haven't been mentioning, but Douglas Silva de Andrade is moving up to featherweight for this fight from bantamweight, and he was already a relatively small bantamweight. Like, I mean that in terms of height and reach, right? I don't think featherweight is going to do him much better. Like, he's going to have close to a 5-inch reach disadvantage. Oh, but Reyes, I don't even think he's that good though, is the thing. I just feel like Douglas Silva de Andrade might just get overpowered because he's too small. But I could see him sneaking his way into a veteran decision victory here. But it's his first fight at featherweight. It's good that he's moving up with moving up a weight class and not moving down in terms of getting older. You know, the weight cut gets a little harder. It's a lot rougher on the body, so it's good that he doesn't have to cut as much weight. But I think he's just going to be smaller. And I think he's going to have a hard time, although he's not the biggest grappler, I think he's going to have a hard time in the grappling scenarios. And I think Javier Reyes is going to be able to control the fight, push him up against the fence, and have his way. So I'm going to go Javier Reyes, but I think Douglas Andrade is probably going to win a round, and it's going to look dicey, maybe first, second, or third round. I don't know. It could be really close 29-28 decision is what I'm going to go with towards Reyes. But Douglas Andrade, man, never count out a classy vet like that. Like, he has some good wins too. He's no bum. He had a decent fight with Piotr Jan where he was landing some good shots early in Jan's career, but he was at points winning the fight. He didn't win the fight, but at points he was having some success against Jan on the feet. Arguably could have won that first round. So don't be surprised if Douglas Silva de Andrade sneaks out a sneaky little vet victory here. I would not be shocked. Man, Chris Mutino, you got to feel bad for this guy, right? Like, in his UFC debut, short notice, he had Sean O'Malley. We all know how that turned out. He's a future champ, or he was at that time a future champion. And then He wins 5 fights in a row outside of the UFC, all finish. Goes to the UFC again. Who does he get matched up with? Malcolm Wellmaker. I mean, who knows what Wellmaker is going to be? He just lost to Ethan Ewan. Ewan, I think, yeah. Ethan Ewan by a pretty clear decision. So it's either Ewan's that good or Wellmaker's not as good as we maybe thought. But Moutinho's getting written off in this fight for sure. For sure he is. Quinones hasn't impressed me. Has not impressed me. I will say that. I think Moutinho has a better chance than what the odds are saying, simply because people just write this guy off as the punching bag of O'Malley. But in reality, he's faced two really strong opponents in the UFC, and outside of the UFC, he's done really well. Quinones is 1-3 in the UFC. Moutinho's 0-2. It's not like Quinones is going to have is some insane prospect like Moutinho's last two opponents, right? Like, come on. I don't know. There's something weird about this fight where I feel like why does everyone think Quinones is going to have the easiest time with Chris Moutinho when this guy hasn't had an easy fight in the UFC himself, you know? Quinones does have that same sort of left hook that Wellmaker possesses. But I just don't think he's gonna finish him. I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he's a Wellmaker. I don't think he has that power to put Chris Moutinho out. Chris Moutinho's a tough guy. And I think Quinones maybe he's going to slide out a very, very close 29-28 decision, likely losing the first round simply by not putting respect on Moutinho's name and just thinking he's going to get the better of him. But, dude, I don't know, man. I could see Moutinho winning this fight, no joke. Just because he's getting underrated so hard. Like, I know he's not that sick, but, like, people are literally writing this guy off as an absolute can. He has 2 losses in the UFC. Christian Quinones is 1-3. What? Like, the odds are skewed crazily. Whatever. I'm still going to say Quinones. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say Chris Moutinho is going to get a 29-28 decision here. I might look dumb as fuck, but I don't care. I'm saying he's going to do it. I think the odds are way off, and I hope I get proven wrong like a dumbass. That'd be great. Okay, here we go. Aylin Perez, everyone's favorite fighter, versus Macy Chiasson. Macy Chiasson's sneaky, man. She's sneaky. She has those elbows, those nasty elbows. She's kind of like the Corey Sandhagen of, like, a woman Corey Sandhagen. You know what I mean? Same weight and everything. Oh, bro, it's low-key Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, but this is going to be Aylin Perez for sure. Macy Chiasson's not going to be able to keep her off of her, I don't think. I don't think she has the ability on the ground or in the grappling to stop Perez just taking her down and controlling her. I don't think Perez could get a submission. I think Perez wins either submission or decision, 30-27. I think Chiasson could have some success. Like, she's pretty nasty in the clinch. She's got good knees. She has good elbows. But she doesn't have the power to slow down this absolute unit of Perez. So, and I mean that in a good way. So Perez is going to win this fight. Like, she's just going to walk her down, take her down, and win. 30-27 decision. It's as simple as that. Chiasson is not going to have the ability to stop it. And another zombie of the card, and another absolute feeder fest for Ryan Gandra. Ryan Gandra is going to win this fight. It's going to be pretty clear. Jose Daniel Medina is just not that good, unfortunately. Medina, he just gets beat up. This guy doesn't have any head movement. This guy is a walking... He's the Chris Moutinho of the middleweight division, according to the odds. You know what I mean? Like, everyone writes off Chris Moutinho. Everyone writes off Jose Medina. People aren't stupid enough to pick Jose Medina or Chris Moutinho, but I am, because I'm dumb as fuck. I'm going to regret that pick so much. Whatever. Okay, Jose Modino is definitely going to lose this fight, though. He's just not that good. He literally has zero defensive striking ability. His defense is just hit me, bro. And he just eats the shots and tries to walk through it. That's all this guy does. He has a chin, but it's slowly getting cracked. It got cracked 2 fights ago. And then I think he lost his last fight decision, but was getting rocked. And he's going to get rocked again. First or second round KO from Ryan Gondry here. Easy enough. This is a weird card where it feels like they want every Mexican fighter to win, or Mexican in relation fighter to win, if you know what I mean. It's weird. I guess there isn't that many on the early prelims, but it seems like they're trying to feed up Quinones to get a win against Matino, who Matino is going to win. Luna is getting fed Angel Pacheco, which is our fight up next. And Pacheco, he's not bad. He's also getting written off. The odds are insanely skewed in Santiago Luna's favor. I think Luna's going to win this fight. Let me say that. But Angel Pacheco, Angel Pacheco, it's probably Angel, right? Angel Pacheco. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, here's what I have to say. Santiago Luna got dropped pretty bad in his UFC debut against Quang Lei. Boom. Puts him down. That's concerning. Pacheco has a good straight left as well. He is a pretty good boxer. The odds are crazy skewed, man. Like, I don't, these odds, everyone's like a minus 300 for some reason. I don't know why I'm looking at the odds. I usually don't, but I was just like trying to figure shit out here because who the fuck are these guys? Do you know what I mean? Who are some of these guys? Yeah, but Luna, he got dropped bad. Pacheco, I was watching his fight, which he did lose on the Contender Series. I was watching that fight back. He was doing good, man. He has decent striking. And he's getting written off. Completely written off. And at the end of the day, Luna still wins this fight, I think. And I think he's going to win first round submission. I think Pacheco might get a knockdown with that straight left. And I think Santiago Luna is going to panic takedown, surprise Pacheco, get him down, sub him. I think Luna's going to face some adversity in this fight, though, whether that's first or second round. But after the adversity, he finds a finish. Kind of similar to his last fight against Quang Lei. Another fight where the fighter is getting completely written off. Kevin Borjas is getting completely written off, man. Completely written off. How valid is it? Kevin Borjas had a really, really good performance against that Mexican fighter, Ronaldo Rodriguez. I don't know if his first name's Ronaldo. Rodrigo Rodriguez? I don't know, that crazy guy who was on the Sphere card and was just going nuts on the mic after, if you remember. He got a nice finish, but he's wild. He was getting rocked bad by Kevin Borjas, put down multiple times. Nasty knee to the body. Nasty 1-2s. And Imanol Rodriguez, similar to, who was the last guy we were just talking about? Santiago Luna, got dropped this time in his Contender Series fight with a right straight. That is very similar to what Kevin Borjas was absolutely rocking the last Rodriguez he beat with in that fight. Holy shit. Kevin Borjas fought another Rodriguez and was landing 1-2s with a beautiful left straight right down the middle that put down the other Rodriguez, not this Rodriguez, put him down multiple times in the fight. Imanol Rodriguez. Why is he different than the other Rodriguez? Well, he has grappling. He trains with DC. He can take Kevin Borjas down. But he has to be quick. And do I think he's going to have success on the striking? He might. But Kevin Borjas is pretty good. He's pretty good. I think he's criminally underrated in this fight. And he could win. But he won't. Unfortunately, he won't. I think Imanol is just going... Oh my god. I think he was a striker, and now he's training with DC to try and up his wrestling, you know? Or it's the other way around. Fuck. Who are these guys, bro? You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to figure out this shit when you have, like, such little tape to watch. Okay, here's what we're going to say. Borjas is going to have success with the striking in the first round, surprising Imanol Rodriguez, surprising him. He's going to throw out lots of 1-2s, good kicks, really good kicks. He has good kicks to the body, good kicks to the leg, good knees. When Rodriguez was trying to threaten the takedown, not this Rodriguez, other Rodriguez, Kevin Borjas was landing good knees, really good knees to the body. That's going to shock Imanol. That's going to shock him. Round 2, he's going to come in. He's going to immediately transition into a wrestling approach. And I think he's going to be able to take Borjas down. He's going to be able to control him in round 2 and 3 and squeeze out a 29-28 decision. Final answer. Next up, we got Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunes. If this isn't fight of the night, if this isn't the fight of the night, I'm trying to think of like what I could say. I don't know. If this isn't fight of the night, this is going to be fight of the night. Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunes. Both of these guys help create Joshua Van, help get him to the title. Both losing to him. Who had the better success? Edgar Chairez. How? Sneaky striking. Spinning back elbow right to Van's dome. Right to his dome. Wobbled him. Van immediately got a takedown. If not for that takedown, Chairez could have won that fight. Felipe Bunes. He had good success on the feet against Van in round 1. Ultimately, he got finished in round 2, but he had good success in round 1. Landing good shots, but also getting beat up a bit. The thing about Chairez that I like about him more than I like about Bunes is Chairez has nasty kicks. He can work the legs, he can work the body, and ultimately that's going to set Bunes up for a nasty head kick finish. Nasty. That's my prediction. I think it comes late first round or sometime in the second round. Edgar Chairez is going to head kick KO Felipe Bunes. But either of these guys could get chinned early. This will be fight of the night. They bang. All right. This is the one fight that I didn't have a pick, and I was going to decide on the fly. I've watched some videos, and Daniel Zellhuber has done nothing to impress me in his very short UFC career so far. What does that mean for his fight against King Green? Well, King Green, Bobby Green, he's sneaky good. But is he Michael Johnson sneaky good? That's the question. Daniel Zellhuber just lost to Michael Johnson. Is King Green Michael Johnson sneaky good? No. Right? There's no way. He's not Michael Johnson sneaky good. Michael Johnson has good boxing. Michael Johnson has power in his hands. Bobby Green is, you know? Papa, come on, Papa. He's not Michael Johnson. Step into it. He's hands down. What? Come on. What? Papa. You know? I think this fight's gonna be a decision for Zellhuber. He's not good. He's not good. And I could just see, there's just something about it where it's like King Green, he could. Zellhuber hasn't impressed me with his power. He hasn't put anyone out. He lost to Ribovich. Who else did he lose to? Michael Johnson last fight. He lost to some other guys. It's a good analysis right there. But King Green, man, he has the get chinned potential where we've seen him go out, and we've seen him go out badly. And here's another thing. King Green, God fucking damn it, Bobby Green has struggled against long, lanky fighters like a Daniel Zellhuber. Who has he struggled against? Well, let me tell you. Jalen Turner, Mauricio Rufy. These guys who play on the back feet and counter and find you coming in, or in Mauricio Rufy case, spinning heel hook, spinning back, spinning heel kick, spinning wheel kick. One of those spinning kicks to the back of Green's head, boom, out cold. Or you're Jalen Turner, and you get put in there with a racist white ref who wanted to see Bobby Green die. You know what I mean? That's why I can't pick King Green here. Who did he beat in his last fight? It was some Canadian guy, Griffith Jr. or something. And he beat him by decision. Why did he beat him? Because he was the same height as him, if not an inch or two shorter. He could work his range. He could work that boxing range that he likes to play in. When guys are on the outside piecing him up, he gets so frustrated quick. And he loses the plot. He can't get in close. He can't. I don't rate Zellhuber at all, man. At all. I think he's given multiple chances to move up in the lightweight division, and he comes short every goddamn time. But King Green, Daniel Zellhuber fits the category of I beat King Green. God, Bobby Green. So we're going Zellhuber decision. I think 30-27, maybe 29-28. Not an entertaining fight. Speaking of not entertaining fights, Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. This fight's gonna piss me off. I know it. Both of these guys are pip-pa type fighters. They don't. Marlon Vera literally just doesn't fight. The guy doesn't fight. The kid just doesn't want to fight. He doesn't throw nearly enough volume. And then he relies on getting that shot. Like when he went on his run, he was finding those shots. Dominic Cruz head kick comes to mind. Frankie Edgar front kick to the face comes to mind. He was finding those shots. Beat the absolute wheels off of Rob Font. Absolute wheels off of him. Still got outlanded. He won that fight because he landed a lot of damage. But I don't see him being able to land that much on David Martinez, man. This guy's fast. This guy's speedy. On the outside. Big leg kicks. Big body kicks. And if our boy Chito, if he doesn't use the kicks of his own, man, he's going to end up in trouble. This guy has longer legs. I'm pretty sure he has longer legs than Stipe Miocic. Is that accurate? Or did I just make that up? I think it is. But, dude, Marlon Vera is just one of the most frustrating fighters to watch of all time, because you think he has the potential to do it and he just never does it. And it's just like, God damn it, Marlon Cheeto Vera. Why didn't you throw a kick in the entirety of that second round? Why did you just block punches and throw no counters? Yeah, your defense is cool. It's cool to show off how thick your skull is, but at the end of the day, you kind of got to win the fight. You know what I mean? And I think David Martinez, this is going to be boring as fuck. And I think David Martinez is going to win 30-27. Boring ass fight. I think that's going to be an absolute snooze fest, and I'm not kidding. I think it's going to stink up the rest of this card. I think it's going to be shit. I think it's going to be shit. I think both those fights back to back, Zellhuber Green and Martinez Cheeto, are going to be the worst fights on the card. I genuinely believe that. I think they're going to be boring as fuck. And I think it might stink up the rest of the card here. But anyway, like I was saying, Loner Kavanagh steps in on relatively short notice to take on Brandon Moreno, the baby-faced assassin. Put it on the list of shit nicknames, right? Put it on the list of shit nicknames. Why would you even choose that? I know some people don't choose it. Is that a new tattoo on his chest? I think that's a new tattoo on his chest. Kind of like it. Goes with the shorts. Ooh, new mythical fighter unlocked. Tatted up Moreno. Okay, so here's the deal. Loner Kavanagh has a chance. What is his chance? Pretty small. Pretty small in the first or second round. That's his timeline. He has 2 rounds to do this, I think. It's short notice. He trains pretty much at sea level in the UK. This is at elevation in Mexico City. Cardio's been an issue for him in 3-round fights. This is a 5-rounder. If this gets a 3-round, and not at elevation, right? This is at elevation, 5-round fight. Moreno is so much more experienced in that area than Loner Kavanagh. So much more. He's got good kicks. He's got good leg kicks. He can struggle in the grappling department, which we saw against Tatsuro Taira. By the way, shit fight. Shit fight. Don't watch it. Such a shit fight. The first round, Moreno just literally held a triangle choke that was nowhere near to like finishing Taira. And then the second round, it was an arguably early stoppage. Moreno immediately was like, what? I didn't go out, man. I'm going with Loner Kavanagh. There's just something about this, and I wouldn't bet on this. I would not bet money on this. There's something about this fight that tells me that Loner Kavanagh, I just have a feeling he's going to win. He's going to get this one done. He's coming off a KO loss to Charles Johnson. First loss of his career, I know. But Charles Johnson is kind of that guy, dude. He's sneaky good. He's sneaky good. He put out Joshua Van. What did Joshua Van do after that? He became fucking flyweight champion. So what I'm trying to say is losing to Charles Johnson doesn't make you a washed up prospect who's a fraud. I hate this. Because if he doesn't get it done, and Brandon Moreno is pretty durable. He's a pretty durable guy. I think those fights with Figueiredo, that trilogy that he had, may have shortened his career a little bit. And I think Loner Kavanagh is going to have the speed advantage dramatically. But I think he's going to live up to the moment. I think he's going to live up to the moment. And I think he's going to find the shot in the first or second round. I honestly do. I don't know why. I feel like... But if he doesn't in the first or second round, it goes to third, fourth, fifth rounds, it's over. It's over. Brandon Moreno will take him down, sub him. Deadass. So that's the 2 props. First or second round KO for Loner. Or third, fourth, fifth round finish submission for Moreno. There's no other way this goes. Those are the two options I see. And that's this card. Next week we have the BMF Championship. Hooray. What a stupid ass belt that is. Sick fight though. Max Holloway versus Oliveira 2. That'll be unbelievable. Early prediction, I'm going Holloway. I think I'm leaning Holloway here. But yeah, man, I'm kind of sick of these fight nights, dude. Like not knowing half these fighters hurts my brain. But anyway, that's the picks. We'll see how we do. Again, not the easiest card to predict, but like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you want to see more picks and some other UFC content will be on the way as well. Thanks for watching. Comment why I'm stupid, and that's it.